Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. Today, we are going back to our roots. We are going to be doing something that I used to do every single month, but have been doing a little bit less frequently. And that is our routinely check-in on the straights. Now, this time, this was actually requested of me by one of my lovely patrons, Queer Corey. So thank you so much for the recommendation. I am glad to oblige and make this video, and I hope that you enjoy it. And if you would like to become a patron also, then you can go to patreon.com/savvycat. And if you want to hear more about that, then stick around till the end. All right. Quickly though, before we do get into the main part of the video, I would like to let you know that today's video is sponsored by Lelo, and I will tell you more about that in just a little bit. We're gonna start off with a classic. Someone posted saying, "Everybody lied to me when I got engaged. Being married is fucking great. There is a whole other person in my house and they love me." Yeah, lovely. Being married should be great. It should be full of love, you know? But obviously that is an unpopular opinion in straightville. So these are some responses that this person got. Honeymoon phase will pass. Check back in 5 to 10 years. Everything is great during the honeymoon phase, but that doesn't last long. Let's revisit in 6 years. Give it time. Blink twice if you're in danger. Like, come on. I don't understand. I have so many thoughts about this, right? Like, why are you getting married while you're still in the honeymoon phase? Like, you should be living with someone before you get married. Advice my mother has always given me is one, don't get married, period. But other than that, if you do get married, make sure you are with that person for at least 2 years first, and then be engaged for at least another year. You should know someone before you like legally commit your entire life to them. That's just common sense. You should know what you're getting into, and you should get married because you want to get married, because you want to continue that love, and you want to like just tell someone you love them and have a party. Marriage should be just about declaring your love to someone and promising that you'll love them forever. That's it. It should be a party. It should be a celebration of love. It shouldn't be like signing your life over because society says that you need to do that at a certain point in your life. Being married shouldn't change anything. I never understand this whole thing. They're like, check back in 5 to 6 years. Come back later. Nothing should change between the day before your wedding and the day after your wedding. Your relationship should stay exactly the same, except you had a party and said I love you in front of a crowd. That's literally the only thing marriage should change, like, within your relationship dynamic. Is that. That's all it should be. And if it changes more than that, that's a bit of a problem. Maybe you shouldn't have gotten married. This is a drawing of a man speaking to two friends saying, "Had a fight with the wife last night. She ended up on her knees." And his friend's replying, "What a man. You're the boss." And then the second image is a woman holding a rolling pin, yelling under the bed, "Come out, you coward," to imply to her husband, like, hiding under the bed. And obviously she's threatening to, like, beat him. Because that's really funny. Obviously, domestic abuse is so funny, hilarious. Ha 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 ha. Everything about this is so no, gross, yuck. Firstly, I don't like the idea of being like, yeah, I showed her who's boss, she got on her knees for me, and like sexualizing like winning a fight. I find that very strange. And then also obviously joking about domestic abuse is like really fucked up. Please don't be doing that, because it's like, you know, it's this thing of like, deal with your own trauma however you wish to. But when it's done like this, it's very much like promoting the idea that this is like normal behavior and this is what is expected to happen. Like, it's normal for your wife to threaten to beat you up. It's normal for you to be terrified and then just laugh it off with your friends. That's a totally normal thing to, it's not normal. Stop normalizing it. It's not funny. And we need to stop isolating male victims who just have to laugh it off because they think that that is a normal and okay thing to do. It's not. Valentine's special, $500. We arrest you in front of your wife and release you on Tuesday. Includes camping fee, fishing license, tent, and beer. We come in full police uniforms and blue lights. My good God. Just tell your wife you want to go away for a bit. Just say that you want to go away for a weekend. That shouldn't be an issue. You should be able to have your own life. That's the thing with being in relationships, with being married. You should have your own lives separately and then also a life together. If you are controlling your partner to the point where they're not allowed to have like friends or a life outside of you, that is a problem. You should be able to go out for a bit and spend time for yourself if that is something that you desire to do. Sometimes that is very good for your mental health. Sometimes you just need a little bit of a break. That's totally cool. That's totally normal. That's very healthy. However, I always question this sort of shit here of like this post being like, oh, you know, I have to lie to my wife in order to get away for a weekend. Do you let her go away for a weekend? Are you like complaining about the fact your wife never lets you do anything fun, but you don't ever actually help out around the house? Like the only reason I can like justify your partner getting upset at you for leaving for a weekend is because you never help out around the house and you're always complaining that she's like nagging you and on you all the time and you need to get away because it's too much. Because you're forcing her to have all the responsibilities of the house. Like you won't look after the kid, you won't do the chores, you won't cook dinner, you won't clean, you won't do anything. And then you're like, I'm sick of this, I need to go fishing. But you don't ever let your wife take a break, because in which case she's justifiably upset and doesn't want you to go out because she needs help and you've never given it to her. That seems to be what it is a lot of the time. In a healthy relationship dynamic, you should share responsibilities however you wish to do that, whatever works. You know, if you have like equal workload, doesn't matter what that work entails, but if you have like equal responsibilities and you help each other out when it's needed, etc., you should also absolutely be able to go out and not need to like ask permission, but obviously check in that, you know, you don't already have plans for that time. There's not anything that needs extra help at that time because you're like kids, if you have kids, are a top priority and you need to make sure that everything is going to work and you have communication and you listen and you shouldn't lie to your wife about being arrested for the weekend to go fishing. Please communicate. Have better communication and shared responsibility and compassion because otherwise, fuck, man. The only Valentine's Day special you should be getting comes from today's sponsor, Sona 2 Cruise by Lelo. It is coming up to Valentine's Day, which we all know as the brilliant consumeristic day of love. But you know, like as far as like these days are full of consumerism, they can still be fun. They're still kind of cute to do, you know? Sometimes it's fun to give in to the capitalism, consumerism monster. You should obviously be giving love to your partners and to yourself every single day, obviously, but it's like a nice little excuse to like, you know, do something extra or whatever if you don't have the time usually. You know, you get it. But anyway, this Valentine's Day, as well as all the other days, as I said, you should take some time to spend with your body, either by yourself or with a partner or with multiple partners. That is entirely up to you. And a way that you can do that and enjoy it to its fullest potential is by checking out Lelo's Valentine's Day sale. They are having a massive sale for their 20th birthday this Valentine's Day, which is super, super cool. And you can grab a great deal on Sona 2 Cruise, which is a fantastic product, as all of their products are. It is an external toy, and so how it works, instead of just like, you know, your standard vibrations, it uses ultrasonic waves and creates like deep vibrations and pulsing that cause deep, more intense climaxes. It has a bunch of different like patterns and intensities and speeds that you can filter through to find what works best for you and what is going to build and give the best result for you. And a really cool thing is it has the cruise technology, which means that it holds back 20% of its power, but then when you push it into your body, a lot of the time with toys like this, that makes them lose their intensity. But with cruise, it automatically is like aware of that's what's happening, and then it blasts that extra 20% so that even if you're pushing it into your body quite intensely, you don't lose any of that intensity or its power, which is fantastic. It's so good. It means it doesn't lose its edge as you're on your edge. And it's just a fantastic little present for yourself or for a partner. You can use it, you know, however you wish to. It's really nice to explore your body and figure out what works best for you and just have a little fun little time, you know? And a fun little bonus fact about just sex in general and orgasming is that not only does it feel really good in that moment, it has a lot of benefits outside of that. It is known to boost your immune system as well as improve mental health, which is, you know, fantastic. So take a bit of me time, have a bit of like just self-care time with Lelo's Valentine's Day 20th anniversary sale. You can go to lelo.com/valentines-day or use the link in my description and treat yourself, celebrate love, and enjoy good vibes this Valentine's Day. So yeah, thank you so much, Lelo, for sponsoring today's video. I, as usual, cannot recommend these products enough. Please do use the link in my description for fantastic deals. I appreciate every time you use my link. And yeah, thank you, Lelo. Let's move back into the video. 1 in 4 men are happy. And then it shows 3 photos of men with women. And the men look sad and the women are like, And then 1 photo of a man with a car part, which is, you know, the happy man, obviously. Now, I have a couple problems with this, but I'm going to start off with the big one. One of the 3 photos that they have used of men being upset is Jess and Nick from New Girl. And I take big issue with that. If you know me, if you follow me on Twitter especially, you know that New Girl is my comfort show. I watch that show an ungodly amount of times. I watch it, I finish it, I start again, and I have been doing that for 7 years. I watched New Girl probably 12 times last year alone. It is a core part of who I am as a person. You want to come and bring New Girl into your straight people, gross, misogynistic posts, and I will fight you. How dare you? Nick and Jess implying that Nick is unhappy? Wrong. Incorrect. You have instantly invalidated your entire point. Because 1, they weren't even together in this screenshot. They're just like besties. And 2, Nick and Jess love each other so much and they are so happy. You can't use any New Girl couple in your married and unhappy posts. They have so much love in their relationships and they are so happy. And like, yes, they are straight people and they sometimes do and say some stuff that you're like, but you can't accuse them of being unhappy in their relationships, because that's incorrect. Cishet men just need to leave New Girl alone. It is not for you, okay? And I'm saying this because I've seen some takes recently. I saw a tweet that was like, reply with your unpopular New Girl opinions, and every single cishet man in those replies I wanted to fight. Not for you. I'm sorry, I'm gatekeeping. Don't keep your eyes off of it. If women make you unhappy, and you hate women, but you love cars, just go fuck a car. I don't care. We don't care. We're better without you, all right? You don't have to date women. You don't have to marry women. Go date your car. We'd all be better off. This is a card that says, for my husband, and there is a woman drinking wine saying, I really do love you. And her husband, drinking beer, says, is that the wine talking? So she replies with, no, it's me talking to the wine. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Do they have any other joke? Do they have any other joke other than, lol, I hate my husband, lol, I hate my wife, lol, we can't stand each other. Isn't marriage so great? Get another joke. I don't find them very funny. I don't think that hating the person that you live with, have a family with, etc. is very funny. Just me personally. I think you need a better joke. And I think that you should probably enjoy the company of the person you are with. And if you genuinely don't love this person or you don't want to spend time with them, you don't have to. You know, don't make yourself miserable by staying in a relationship that makes you unhappy. I understand that people can fall out of love. I know like some older couples who have been together for like 30 years and they're not in love with each other anymore, but they still love each other and their company very much. And that's totally fine. Obviously, relationships grow and change, and you don't have to be like in love with someone in order to enjoy their company, but you should at the very least love them and be able to express that. And if you can't, then like why are you there, you know? If your first response to hearing your partner say I love you is are you drunk? Not a good relationship. So, yeah, yikes. Men, marriage is war. It is a situation between a terrorist and a hostage. You are the hostage. You can lose some battles, but never lose the war. Be tactical, wise, and ruthless. Hashtag masculinity Saturday. My good God. What? What? You're comparing your wife to a terrorist? You're saying that your wife is a terrorist and you're a hostage? That's not normal. No one is making you get married. No one is forcing you to do any of this stuff. Like, yes, there are some societal pressures, but like, no one is making you get married. And like, if you are in a marriage or any sort of relationship where you genuinely feel like this, like you are afraid of your wife and you feel like you are a hostage in your marriage, that is obviously very, very bad. And that is domestic abuse. And I really, really hope that you were able to get help and that you were able to get out of that situation, because that is awful and I am so sorry. However, stating it in a tweet like this, you are generalizing and saying that this is what is to be expected of marriage. You're saying to all married men or all men who are potentially going to get married that they should be expecting their relationship to be of this dynamic. And that is fucked up. That is not okay. We should not be normalizing the idea of abuse. So many men love to get fucking pissed and riled up whenever women sit down and talk about abuse and male abusers. And they're always like, men get abused too, men are victims too. And then the same fucking men turn around and say shit like this that totally just normalizes the idea of men being abuse victims and making it into something that like you shouldn't come forward about, you shouldn't speak about. This is normal. This is what you should expect. This is what marriage is. And the like most fucked up part about it is that the men who are saying it like this, these men in particular, are saying it in a sense that they are being told by their wives that they need to take responsibility. And they see that as them losing power. If their wife like asks them to help out around the house or do tasks or just be there for them and do anything that they deem as emasculine, they talk about it like this. They talk about it as though their wives are controlling and the worst and like all of that. That's not what abuse is, even a little bit. And then it isolates people who actually are going through abuse in relationships, because then when they come forward and talk about it and are like, I'm really damaged in this relationship, my wife genuinely really hurts me, you get all these men being like, oh bro, dude, same. It's not the same. It's fucking not the same. You being told to take responsibility and like share the workload with your wife is just called being a good partner. That's not you being taken advantage of. That's not you being abused. That's none of that. That's just what should be expected in a relationship dynamic. There are men who are actually abused by their wives who can't say shit because of how invalidated they are by people like this. And the fact it ends with be tactical, wise, and ruthless, what the fuck does that mean? The accounts like this, again, the like Masculinity Saturday, they're usually abusers themselves. And so this feels like promoting abuse against women, because what they consider abuse towards men is just being treated as an equal or wanting equal treatment. They view like abuse victims speaking up for themselves as them being abused. And it's fucked up. And when people want to talk about toxic masculinity and whatnot, this is toxic masculinity. This is what it is. It's the needing to prove yourself so much that you think that being treated as an equal is emasculine. Anyway, I made a lot of assumptions in that, just going off of the vibe of what these usually are, because I've done these a lot. I've looked through accounts like this before, so I am making assumptions. But I feel like I'm coming from the right place, and even if I'm not with this particular post, I know that there are a lot of men like that, and I know that it is an unfortunately large amount of people. I always get really intense when I talk about this shit, and I know that people come here for like lighthearted content and stuff, but when it comes to like abuse and shit, it's just really hard to make light of it, especially as a victim myself, and I had therapy last night, so I might be a little bit raw on that. I started therapy a few weeks ago, so I'm kind of constantly living on the edge of like being triggered, because it's on the surface a lot more now, so I do get even more ranty about it because it's like extra fresh for me at the moment. But anyway, this is a little cartoon of a woman wearing like a zebra coat and a zebra hat with her husband. And she is saying, "First you buy me a new coat, and now a trip to Lion Safari Park. What's gotten into you lately?" Because, again, so funny. Joking about abuse and wanting to kill your wife. Haha, I hope you get eaten by lions. Lol, lol, so funny. Why do so many men make it their entire personality to just, like, rag on their wife for no fucking reason? If you're truly that unhappy, please seek help and leave. You know, it's so funny because like all these men like to paint it out like being married is the absolute worst, you know? But one, they're often the ones who, you know, ask in the first place. And two, it is just a well-known fact that married men on average are much happier than unmarried men, and married women are more depressed. So like, don't fucking lie. You wouldn't know what to do without your wife because you never learned how to cook or clean or do anything for yourself. You just expect someone to do all of that for you. And then when they ask you to do one thing, you're like, ugh, I hate you, you ruined my life. Fuck off. Like, come on. Dude, you wonder why your wife is upset and cranky all the time? It's because she just wants some help and she doesn't get it from the person who is supposed to love her. That's why women are more depressed in marriages and men are more happy. And why you won't actually leave your wife, because you know that you can't live without her. She could easily live without you. So be grateful and fucking treat your wives better. You know, that's obviously a generalization, but just like, from these sorts of people, again, we're basing this off of just like this group of people, which is an unfortunately large number of people. Like, you're bringing it on yourself, dude. Fix your attitude and be a better person, you know? Fucking, oh my God. This is a baby's onesie. It says, "I'm cute, mom's hot, dad's lucky." And the implication of this is so weird. I don't understand why a baby being cute makes your dad lucky. I just don't like these things being put together. Like, yeah, it's totally fine, totally normal to call your baby cute. Absolutely. Babies are fucking cute. And then calling, you know, your wife hot. That's cool too. Good for you. But then putting those two together and being like, dad's lucky, makes it really weird. Why are you lucky that your daughter is cute? Oh, your daughter is so cute. Lucky you. Why? What? That's gross. I really don't like it. Monk never seen a woman in his whole life. And then all these replies saying, "The only man in the world to know true peace. The happiest man to ever live. So nobody was nagging him constantly. Poor guy. Lucky bastard. God, I wish that were me." You would think that these men would have no interest in women. You would think that all of these posts would be made by misogynistic, gay or asexual men, right? You would think. But my bet is on all of them being straight men who, you know, no one is forcing them to talk to women or date women or anything like that. No one is making you do that. You are making that decision for yourself. If you want to live a life free of women, by all means, go and do it. I promise you we will not miss you. I promise you we won't miss you. Just date each other, you know? Like, just leave us alone, okay? It's not hard, but like, clearly you do want to be around women because you continue to talk to women. So like, you can stop. You can do that. That is within your power. So go do that. Great. It'll be better. It would be great. It would work well for everyone. You will not be missed. Toodaloo. So long. Sayonara. See you never. But that was my last post, so I hope that you've enjoyed this little checkup on the straights. I am sure that we can all agree that they are in fact still not okay. So we'll have to do another one of these at some point. I don't think they're ever gonna change. And you know, on the bright side, at least it means that I have content, right? It's one way of looking at it. Oh God. Yeah, anyway, a massive thank you to my Sprout and Above patrons whose names are up on the screen right now. And a huge, huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons, Wolf, Toulouse, Bobby, Josh, Mandy, Robbie, Ikazel, Kai, Jessica, Eldo, Ida, Quia Corey, Mick McKenna, Anna, Raven, Danielle, Elias, and Evie. I love and appreciate you all so, so much. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/savvycat or click the top link in the description. For as little as £1 a month, you get my videos a day early, as well as our podcasts a week early. And for £3 and up, you get things such as a monthly live stream, bonus mini podcast, outtakes, and a thank you letter. I appreciate your support very, very much. So thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.